You know, if you're a person who really likes artworks and loves museums, the enormity and the vast collections of sculptures, paintings, and the artifacts here would take you probably a couple of days to appreciate and admire every single piece. But as for me, we finally made it to the end of the tour, which means I'm about to enter the Sistine Chapel. And it's just through that door going up those stairs.
Look, there it is.
This is the Sistine Chapel. You see, the moment you enter the chapel, you hear employees scream out no pictures, but people still do. I'll just blur this if I encounter any issues. So first of all, one thing I can say is that this chapel looks amazing in person as what you see in pictures, especially for me since I'm a big fan of Michelangelo. If you didn't know, the Sistine Chapel is famous for Michelangelo's paintings or frescoes all over the church's interior. It actually took him 4 years to complete this masterpiece, between 1508 to 1512, under the strict insistence of Pope Julius II. What's amazing is that Michelangelo wasn't really a painter, he was a sculptor. Anyway, despite this building's history, the paintings or frescoes in it is mostly highly regarded than anything. The paintings depict stories from the Bible, from Adam and Eve all the way to the Last Judgment. Michelangelo's paintings of more than 300 figures covered about 130 feet long and 43 feet wide of space, which was about 5,000 square feet. Well, because of that, today the Sistine Chapel draws millions of visitors and has become a major artistic accomplishment ever created in the world. I can actually stay here the whole day and won't get tired of it, but we had to go. Plus there's so much people in the chapel, it was hard to get comfortable anyway. So like I said, the Sistine Chapel was the last part of the tour, and like any museums, before you get out of the building, it takes you to this gift shop which looks pretty amazing on its own.
It's a souvenir shop. Even the souvenir shops looks nice.
Since we didn't get a proper lunch earlier, we had to find a place to eat, and we figured since we're going to explore St. Peter's Cathedral next, we might as well find a place close by. But first, we had to find our way out of this place.
And then you walk the steps. It looks pretty cool. All the way down.
I don't know what happened, but somehow I wasn't able to film coming to this restaurant. Maybe I was too distracted and hungry. Anyway, we found this place pretty close to St. Peter's Basilica, and I got myself this pasta made with pesto sauce. By the way, as a tip, if you find a restaurant close to any famous landmarks, most likely the food is going to be expensive. Well, that's exactly the case here. I think this plate was about $15. And then, we ordered this grilled salmon steak. I'm blaming this to hunger, by the way. It looks pretty simple. You have the salmon, a piece of bread with tomatoes, and a side of salad. You know, I forgot to mention that the pesto pasta and this salmon steak were from a buffet table. We didn't get this from their menu, so we didn't get to see how much they were until we got the bill. But this salmon steak, if I remember correctly, was about $35 alone. I'm not kidding. It was a total ripoff, I know. But like I said, I blame hunger for this. So let me start with the pesto pasta. Pesto sauce originated in Genoa, Italy. It's made with garlic, nuts, salt, basil, cheese, and olive oil. You can use this sauce as a dip or with pasta as you see here. Anyway, the pasta or fettuccine, from the moment my fork touched it, was really firm. Al dente is what you call it. I have to say, it was surprisingly good. I honestly didn't expect that because I read somewhere that restaurants here in Rome, especially the ones close to famous landmarks, tend to cook their food through a microwave instead of cooking it fresh from a pan. This pasta was really good, and the balance between what could be basil, the sauce, and a little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese is just right. I really like it.
I don't know what this is. What kind of leaf is this? It's good. I can taste the Parmesan. It's not oily. It's not that oily. It's just perfectly blended. Very interesting. Let's try that one. So, right here is the salmon.
The first thing I noticed about this was the salmon looked really dry, but as I cut through it, a lot of juice came out. Well, with that first bite, I have to say that this salmon was dry as hell. I don't understand it. When I press my fork on it, as you can see here, a lot of juice just oozes out of it, but the texture when you're eating it is really dry. It's definitely overcooked in my opinion, and the flavor was just okay. You know what? Actually, I don't even remember it. I decided to put some lemon, hoping it would change the texture and flavor. The lemon was a good touch, but it didn't help at all. This is just not a good grilled salmon steak. Moving on, I tried the toasted bread with tomatoes, black olives, and leaves that could also be basil. So the bread was cold and really hard, but the tomatoes were fresh and sweet, especially the grape tomatoes from the salad. I love it. But it's obvious, the pasta was way better than the salmon. After we finished eating and got our bill, which was close to $60, by the way, I'll never make that mistake again, we headed to St. Peter's Basilica. I don't know if we should go to the line, but this is going to the Basilica to St. Peter's. That's a big line. I can't even see the end of this line, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. Finally, the end of the line. Okay. This is the end of the line. And we have to go all the way just to see St. Peter's Basilica. We're getting closer. We started all the way over there. St. Peter's Basilica is free to the public, and it's notorious for its long line. They estimate you'll spend about 2 hours here, but fortunately for us, we were only in line for about 30 minutes or so. Maybe because it was already late in the afternoon. But our main concern getting past security was if we had enough time to explore the church before it closes. I think it closes at 6 p.m, so we should have enough time. St. Peter's Basilica is located here in the Vatican City, and it's the largest church building in the world. It's actually the most renowned work of Renaissance architecture. It was designed by Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, Carlo Madero, and Gianni Lorenzo Bernini. It is also said that the remains of St. Peter the Apostle is located below the altar inside the basilica. This church was completed in 1626 and is famous for a place of pilgrimage and public worship. This is where the Pope presides throughout the year, drawing people by the thousands. One of the things St. Peter's Basilica is known for is its dome, which we plan to see, and also the Pietà. I'll talk about that later after we explore this church. But first, we're going to the dome before it gets dark, because I read that you can see a spectacular view of the city of Rome from up there.
2 for the on-foot walking.
2 for the foot walk. Alright. We are going on foot. 500, almost 600 steps all the way to the dome. We decided to do this because well, the sun is still up. We want to make sure that, that's why we started the dome first. The first step is right here. Let's do it. Although St. Peter's Basilica is free to the public, climbing the dome is not. It's about 10 euros to use the elevator and 8 euros to use the stairs. Well, we're taking the stairs because it kind of feels more of an experience getting up there that way. If you're wondering, it's about 551 steps to get to the very top of the dome. It's kind of dizzying because it's really tight. Kind of close to the wall here. Not yet. Oh yeah, one more. Look at that. Oh, we're at the dome. And it wasn't that bad. The stairs was pretty small. But it kind of gets dizzying while you're going up because it's pretty tight turns and stuff. But we're gonna go up here. More steps, more steps. Oh, it's actually not a step. It's just a slanted walkway. So this part is the interior of St. Peter's Dome. It's about 450 feet from the floor, which makes it the tallest dome in the world, and the internal diameter is 136 feet. Incidentally, the dome of the Pantheon we saw earlier this morning played a big part in this dome's design and construction. It's kind of bad. There's like a chicken guard here. they're like what are the tiles? It's probably like handmade tiles.
This is actually called a mosaic. It's an artwork or image created by small pieces of colored glass or other materials, and it pretty much covers the walls around this walkway and possibly parts of the dome.
Here, let's give a perspective on this if I can. That's the... It doesn't seem high, huh? From up here. Maybe we can climb up some more. I was told, or we were told, that we're gonna get to see the whole of Rome.
I thought you couldn't get higher than this, but I was wrong. While we walk around this walkway and admiring its art, and imagining how on earth they made this back then, we got to this doorway that led us to more stairs, which I thought goes back down, but instead it went up. After all, we were told you could see the whole city of Rome, so I guess there's another level to this.
Oh man, this is tight. This is tight. There's more steps. Oh man, this is, you gotta be physically fit to do this. This is really tight. The wall is slanting now. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh god. The wall is slanting. Look, this is like regular view. And it's slanted. Oh my gosh. There's more. It's getting harder and harder to film here. Okay. Oh man, there's so much steps here. This is not a joke. But that's the top. The question is, how are we gonna get down from here? Yeah. I guess so, huh? Oh my gosh, this is like the smallest steps now. Holy crap. Oh my goodness.
If I remember it correctly. It's been a while.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh, the cool air.
Finally made it. Made it.
So this is the highest part of the dome that visitors are allowed access to. If you're wondering exactly where we are right here. I have to admit, taking all 551 steps of stairs all the way up here, it's a bit tiring and kind of claustrophobic at times. But making it up here is well worth it. The view of the whole city of Rome from here is really something.
Look at that. St. Peter's Square. Tight. There's so much people here.
Right there is the St. Peter's Square, and zooming in, you'll notice the St. Angelo Bridge we crossed this morning, and to the left is the Castle of the Holy Angel we hope to see later tonight.
What lake that is? Yeah, that's the bridge. There's the castle, the Angel Castle. This is Rome right here. Actually, I'm gonna focus on this right here. We're at the very top of the Vatican, St. Peter's Church. This is it. This is the tippy top. I can see. Yeah. Can't get any higher than this. It's another side of it. Oh, look. St. Peter's is right here. St. Peter's Square is over right here. We almost made a full circle.
That's pretty much what you'll see after doing a full circle up here. I wanted to stay longer, but there's so much people here, it was really hard to move around. I mean, every time I move, I end up bumping into someone. Nevertheless, it was all well worth it to see this. Now all we need to do is find the exit and get down from here.
No one likes to go down. Exiting. We're going down the same way. Actually, that's another stairs. But it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. Look. We're going down the same kind of stairs, but the other way. But it's pretty much the same kind of stairs. Same way. It feels weird going down. It's really steep. Finally, we made it. Alright. Now there's gonna be more steps. This is like the best part right here. It's pretty chill. Why is it going up again? We no, we're not there yet. I forgot about this port right here. Alright, this stairs was kind of freaky in the beginning. If you're claustrophobic, don't even attempt that, dude. Because it's pretty scary. But it's not really that bad. If you're not claustrophobic, at least. Just gonna take a breather here. Man. We were right up there.
I forgot to mention this earlier, but this section of the basilica where I'm filming this is where you'll find the gift shop. So after we bought a few souvenirs, we made our way back down the stairs. This time we're going to see what's inside St. Peter's Basilica.
Back to the steps. This is gonna be easier. Finally got off of the stairs. Now we're gonna get into the chapel.
Being the largest church in the world, you would expect the interior to be massive, and it is. It's so big it makes everyone here look so small. The total length of the church is 730 feet, and the width is 500 feet. The entire church is decorated with marble from the floors to the ceiling. I mean, everywhere you look, there's some kind of sculpture, paintings, and lavish decorations of gold. There must be hundreds scattered all over this church. Well, the basilica also contains over 100 tombs, which includes 91 popes and some other notable people. Anyway, this church is really amazing. I just can't help but look and marvel at the work that was put into making this basilica.
Look at this.
This right here is the entrance to the church, and this is what you'll see immediately when you enter it.
Right here. That's the dome. We were up there. Wow. Looks amazing, huh?
I forgot to mention this, but there are a lot of multiple chapels inside this church. I'm not sure how many, but this is an example of one of the chapels. At this point, I started looking for the Pieta, which I mentioned was one of the things I have to see here.
So we found out that the Pieta is actually located at the front of the church. We're kind of not in a hurry because I'm pretty sure it's not going to move right now.
Well, before we go and see the Pieta, this right here is the St. Peter's Baldachin. It's a huge bronze sculpture canopy designed by Bernini, which stands beneath the dome and above the altar, which is where St. Peter's tomb is located. It is said to be the largest piece of bronze in the world. And right behind it is the Cathedra Petri, or Throne of St. Peter. It's a chair which was claimed to have been used by St. Peter himself. Now it's time to see the Pieta. It's located here at the entrance, as you see.
And then when you go left, when you go right, it's the Pieta.
So this is the Pieta. Honestly, aside from the Sistine Chapel, this is the most important thing I wanted to see here at the Vatican. The Pieta, as you can see, is a marble statue created by Michelangelo in 1498 to 1499. This was commissioned to him as a funeral monument to a French cardinal, but was later moved here in the 18th century. The Pieta depicts Jesus laying on the lap of Mary after the crucifixion. There's a lot of talk about its lack of proportioning from Mary's body compared to Jesus, and also the fact that Mary has a young face considering her son Jesus was 33 years old. Well, aside from all these things, the sculpture is just perfect. I'd like to think that Michelangelo did all that on purpose. Anyway, the detail of every fold on Mary's dress, the veins on Jesus' arms and hands, it's just impossible to comprehend how Michelangelo made this from one piece of marble. One thing I want to know though, is that how did those people manage to get in there?
I can't get to it. I wanted to go in there, but I don't know how to get in there. So I heard from this guy that you have to get a special permission to actually view the Pieta up close. Like those people in there. Oh, the lucky bastards. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm in a church.
It's too bad you couldn't get close to the Pieta anymore. That is if you have that special pass or invitation. Anyway, we decided to explore the rest of the church some more before we left.
Apparently they don't let you in here. You gotta pray or something before you can come in here. It's like gold. I wonder if this is real gold.
Take your left foot out of there.
Oh.
There you go.
Alright, I guess we're leaving.
The St. Peter's Church, as well as the Vatican Museums and the Sistine Chapel, was really impressive considering its history and its great importance. To be here is unforgettable. It's everything I expected and more, but before we left, I had to see the Pieta one last time. You know the reason why the Pieta is behind a bulletproof glass? It's because in 1972, a mentally disturbed person attacked the sculpture with a hammer and broke Mary's arm, knocking off her nose and chipped one of her eyelids. After that incident, people will never be able to touch or even get close to this masterpiece again. That is if you have that pass or whatever that invitation is. After completing our tour of the Vatican, which pretty much took half our day, it was too late to go see the Castle of the Holy Angel because it closes at 6:30 p.m. and it was about 6 already. You know, even if we had time, I don't think I had it in me to see another museum today. I felt really tired at this moment. All I wanted to do was to end the day and eat some good food.
Alright, our day at the Vatican is over. It's time to go back and find a place to eat dinner. Man, it's tiring, especially going up to that the very top of that dome.
Passing by the Castle of the Holy Angel, all we could do is to look at it. If ever I come back here, I'll definitely take a tour inside this castle. Anyway, as we were walking to find a place to buy a bus ticket, we decided to eat at the same restaurant we had our first dinner here, which was just around the corner from our hotel. We really liked the service and the food there. It was really good.
So we got ourselves a bus ticket, which we didn't get one earlier, so we pretty much rode the bus for free. It's because when you ride the bus here, you have to buy tickets like this. We got it from this tobacco shop right here. There's like a vending machine inside of this, and this is where you can get the tickets for your bus here in Rome, which is kind of weird. I thought at first that you can buy the tickets when you go get on the bus, but apparently you don't do it that way. I'm kind of wondered about that too, because people can just ride the bus here and without paying. The bus driver doesn't even care. You ride the bus and they don't care. But anyway, we got the bus and we're gonna head back home, or head back to our hotel. And eat at the restaurant we ate at the first night. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh, gonna close soon. That bus was so packed, we had to get down. Look at that. We had to get out of the bus because it's just gonna be traffic all the way to our hotel, and I'm sweating right now. I'm dripping with sweat because and it's cold. I mean, not that cold, but it's pretty chilly. But man, look, I'm drenched. So we got off the bus and we decided to just walk. We're just gonna walk. All right, let's go. All right, see, look. We ended up not using the bus ticket. Like I said, it's really tough to even pay there in a bus. But now we're at our hotel, so we're just gonna freshen up a bit and then go to dinner. This restaurant right here. I'll just focus on that one right there. Alright, I'm gonna get the grilled steak. And we're getting the risotto. That one. It's their local. This is Antica. Grazie.
So this is called risotto alla pescatora. It's basically risotto with fish or seafood. Risotto is a northern Italian dish made with rice that's cooked with broth until it becomes creamy. But most risotto contains butter, wine, and cheese. The dish dates back from 1809 from the region of Lombardy here in Italy. I don't get to eat risotto a lot, but this one is definitely a mix of seafood, and I decided to try it first.
Oh man, it's quite different. Yeah. I was thinking more like kind of sticking together, but it's not sticking together. It's mostly just like breaking apart the rice. But this has a lot of stuff going on, man.
You know, I really didn't care much about the risotto because I was really in the mood for a nice juicy steak. I need some meat, especially after a long and tiring day. I have to admit, this grilled steak didn't look as appealing as I envisioned it to be. It looked thin and dry. I was expecting more of a nice thick steak with juice oozing all over the plate. Even so, I still can't help but give this a try. Oh yeah, the steak also came with fried potatoes on the side.
Let's try this. Not sure about the lemon, if I should put lemon on, but yeah, for now I'm just gonna try. Wow. Alright, first impression. Oh no, this part is a little hard. Look at that. It's a medium. Yeah? It's a medium. Yeah. Oh man. It's so tender. I'm not kidding. It is so tender. It doesn't look like it's tender. Oh my god. Can we try the potatoes? Yeah, we should try this. There, try it out.
This one?
Yes. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm gonna go with the lemon, but the lemon is kind of weird.
It was really weird. I don't know if it was the knife, but the steak was a little hard to cut. Chewing it was a different story. It was tender and soft. Well, the best part of it all is that this steak was really good. Possibly the best seasoned steak I've ever had. It was that good.
Oh, that's my first bite. The butter is right underneath everything. This whole dish is so good, but it's not enough. We need more, you know? That's the only problem I have with this, is that I want more. Because it's so freaking good. Oh my gosh. We're probably gonna end up eating here our last day in Rome. We're gonna have another pasta, or I'll probably have another one of these too, and a pasta. I think this one's the better one.
For dessert, we ordered a slice of tiramisu, but they ran out of it. So instead we got a slice of chocolate, and our waiter gave us a slice of this tart pastry with some kind of jelly. All because he felt bad we didn't get to try the tiramisu.
Alright, so I'm gonna try this one first. I think this is the one that he gave us for free. Because I don't remember we ordered just a chocolate. This is like blueberries, like berries. Oh man, there's a hint of like wine. Or some kind of alcohol. Wow.
That's what you stood on your taste buds.
Well, that's different. It's different. I don't know how to explain it. Really. It's not your typical jelly.
Is it sweet?
No, not really. It's not that sweet, but it's sweet, but it's not that sweet. There's something in there like honey or something. I'm gonna try this one. This is the one that we ordered. It's the chocolate. It's like really pure chocolate. It smells like chocolate too. Oh man. That is heavy chocolate. This one. It's a dark chocolate.
Bitter?
There's a hint of, yeah, a little bit. Here, try it. So you can like, try it. You like it?
It's not dark chocolate.
Yeah, it's not that sweet too. It's not like milk chocolate. I don't know what it is. It like kind of crumbles. See?
Yeah. But it's also
On top?
creamy.
Yeah, it's creamy underneath. I'm gonna try this one. That one's with berries. It's different, huh? Yeah.
I like this one better.
This one? This one? Yeah. Because you like chocolate. But if me,
You like that one?
yeah, I like this one because there's like there's a lot of like things going on. Like there's the crust and there's the berries. This is just different. Yeah. This part is like crumbly. And this one's like creamy in the bottom. Not bad. Yep. They're not too sweet. Both of them are not too sweet.
Today was amazing. Everything went according to our plan, from the Pantheon all the way to the Vatican, but it was also tiring and yet well worth it. Oh, and the food we ate along the way was really good, especially the steak I just had. So as we walked back to our hotel, I'm thinking tomorrow should be an easy day compared to today. We're going to take a tour of the Colosseum, the Palatine Hill, the Roman Forum, and hopefully eat some good food along the way.